I have a pound and a half of this wild sockeye salmon I got from Costco, some spinach, garlic, you can use fresh, green onion, cream cheese, salt and pepper, and some fresh grated basil mozzarella cheese. And I have my oven preheating to 400 degrees. So I have my cheese all grated up, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the stems off of this spinach and chop all of my vegetables and wash them really good. This is going to be a really special recipe because I wanted to do something very tasty with this giant piece of salmon that I was so lucky to get. Time to chop up this cream cheese a little bit because we're going to be dropping it by some cubes into the little food processor. I'm just going to stuff this food processor as much as I can with some cream cheese and my veggie mix here, and I'm just going to get it really good and blended. And I'm going to have to open it a couple times to push down the spinach because you'll see that there's some stubborn leaves there that does not want to get blended up. So you gotta open it every now and then and try to push them back down. This is probably the longest part of this entire recipe. After this, it's a piece of cake. You just bake it and then get ready for your beautiful meal. Alright, the hardest part is over. I got everything all blended up. I'm gonna have to give this a good mix with some of that basil mozzarella cheese that I had. But I realized my bowl is too small. I need to transfer this to a large pot. And give it a good stir and add my seasonings. So I'm adding some garlic. You can also use, fresh crushed garlic. I have some sea salt, pink sea salt, and I'm also adding some pepper. And you can also add whatever other seasonings that you find tasty. And I'm giving this a good mix. This is really flavorful, and you can even taste it before you fill it to see if you need to adjust the seasonings. And I'm making a big batch because I also want to use some for the salmon and some for a sauce on the side. This is also another amazing sauce you can use for your noodles with a little bit of heavy whipping cream. It's gonna taste great. So now I have my salmon. I have to take off the skin. I'm just going to take the knife as close to the skin as possible and pull the skin while I'm giving it like a gentle cut. This will peel it right off, and I won't leave any of the good salmon behind. If you do leave any behind, you can always cut that off later and just add it right into the middle of the big piece of salmon. When you roll it up, nobody will ever know. If it gets a little difficult when cutting, just go ahead and flip it to the other side. I think it's nice to work on the other side, and then you can meet in the middle so you can finally take off that big chunk of skin. If you have a super sharp knife, this process should be really easy for you. My knife is just medium. I need to get it sharpened. It's getting a little dull. I have this nice piece of salmon there I left behind. I don't want to throw it away, so I'm just going to scrape it off and put it right back. Time for the fun part. Let's fill this salmon up and roll it. You can incorporate back any of like little pieces of salmon that may have ripped off with the skin too. So I put a really nice thick layer. This way it'll be really full of flavor. And it's time to roll it. It looks really beautiful, the color contrast. Now it's time to cut into this bad boy and get baking. Oil your pan and place your beautiful paradise salmon rolls right on top. And go ahead and bake those for 20 minutes. I'm just going to top it with extra salt and pepper, and I'm going to put a little smoked paprika. I have a lot of this tasty filling left over, and we'll leave it for later, and then even if there's extra, I can use it the next day to make it as like a pesto sauce on my pasta. So I cut some lemon in a pretty fashion, and I have some minced cilantro and just a few sprigs of cilantro to garnish, and here's what it looks like 20 minutes later. I also had some jasmine rice steaming, so I'm gonna put it on top of some rice. And now it's time to make the creamy sauce. So if you take a big scoop of that filling and add a dash of heavy whipping cream, you'll get a beautiful creamy sauce. I put a bowl of jasmine rice right there. And let's assemble this. Oh, here is the finished dish. It looks so beautiful and it was very successful. My family loved it a lot. You're gonna see my little taste testers give it a try. And I had one of these left over the next day and it tasted just as amazing cooked the next day as well. Here's my little taste testers. Well, they really loved it. And they said that that creamy sauce even tastes amazing on the rice. It made the rice taste better. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. And please subscribe. I have a lot of other cooking videos on my cafe secret playlist on our channel. Thanks again. And give a like if you thought this was a good recipe. My other daughter over there, she really hated fish, so she didn't even want to give this a try. Bye-bye.